Hi, Jonathan back with Game 2 of Round 4 in the February Legacy Challenge, playing Canadian Threshold versus Grixis Delver. I lost the first game to a creature-heavy draw from my opponent, and now I'm on the play for Game 2. My 7-card hand, as you can see, has no land, so I'm shipping that. My opponent gets to keep their 7, I get to keep a slightly mediocre 6, but there's double Brainstorm, Daze, and a Wasteland, so it's not like I have already lost the game. It's gonna be not easy. Force of Will, Scry to the bottom. My opponent, fortunately, not doing anything on turn 1. Here, I think I'd like the end-step Brainstorm. Okay, I'm not doing it because I still have a land drop for my next turn. But yeah, so my opponent has a Ponder. That's okay with me. I'm sure I'm doing the end-step Brainstorm this turn. I really want to draw into another land drop. I have double Brainstorm, so I need to get some velocity going. And I Brainstorm into a land, which is fortunate, a fetch land like that. A Wasteland and another cantrip. I actually don't think I want to put back any of these cards. Preferably, I'd like to keep all of them. I think the card I'm least likely to shuffle away here is True Name, but I'm not too sure about that. It might be one of the cantrips. Okay, it's the Ponder. So I go to my turn, play the Flooded Strand, waste my opponent. My opponent unfortunately has another land and a Delver. I'm not going to kill that end step. I'm going to wait until my turn in order to draw the Ponder. Now I waste the Volcanic, fetch, Pyroblast the Delver, Ponder, I play into Daze because I'm perfectly fine with my opponent dazing it. A case could have been made for keeping the Wasteland. That way I could have cast True Name next turn, but that's playing into Daze, Pyroblast, so I don't really want to cast True Name until I have more lands. Ponder to Brainstorm, Lightning Bolt, and Force of Will. I think this is a good I think this is a good Ponder, but I also think I'm going to shuffle it for some reason. The Lightning Bolt is something I really do want, however, and if I am going to keep it, I think the correct order is Brainstorm, then Lightning Bolt, then Force. That way I can force a Gormak Angler and draw Lightning Bolt this turn, next turn, which is then going to be protected from Cabal Therapy. And that's what I'm doing, and I actually don't shuffle. Yeah. So my opponent now does cast the Gormak Angler, and I'm going to force that. Unfortunately, that is proof. You have the choice between pitching Brainstorm and True Name. I think it's a close call. True Name is a very good card. I only have 9 creatures in my deck. And I do have another Brainstorm, second from the top in my library, so I end up pitching the Brainstorm. This turns out to be not the greatest decision, but what can you do? So there's the Force. My opponent fetches and Pyroblast the Force. And here I'm dazing the Gormak Angler, not the Pyroblast. People tend to assume counter magic always goes on top of each other. That means you always counter the top card of the stack, and sometimes people let cards resolve for not really any reason, just to make the stack smaller and less complicated, I guess. So that's what I'm doing here, dazing the Angler. My opponent lets it resolve and then dazes the Force, which is clearly not intended. There's the Lightning Bolt I draw. My opponent playing a Deathrite Shaman, which I'm going to kill. My opponent's end step, I think. Yes. because it's a Delver Mirror, you also always have to kill all the creatures. I'm brainstorming main phase here, which is somewhat greedy, but I really do want to get on board. A case could have been made for keeping the brainstorm. This is a very aggressive line, and let's see how that works out. So I'm not super punished for it. I get to keep Nimble Mongoose, which I get to play this turn, draw Lightning Bolt, and then have Force in 2 turns. Force is going to be the card I keep in hand. True Name is going to be the card I draw second, and Lightning Bolt is my next draw. Nimble Mongoose. My opponent did cast a Daze last turn. There's a Pyromancer, which is annoying. A Probe for 3 value, well, 3 for the cost of 2 cards and a slot in the deck. Lightning Bolt the Pyromancer because it's a Delver Mirror and you want to kill all the creatures. Attack. And now I think my opponent has a land and a True Name, which is very unfortunate because I can't cast my True Name. I'm still ahead in the race. My opponent hits me for 4. I'm dead in 5 turns, and I hit them for 3. They're dead in 4 turns, which is great. But if I cast the Force I do have in hand, they also have a 4-turn clock. And if they draw a Lightning Bolt or another creature, that changes the clock as well. So here they have a Ponder, which they don't shuffle on, and they waste my Volcanic in order to prevent me from playing more creatures. True Name, I can't block. Going down to 14. Attack with the Nimble Mongoose. Now have Snare and Force backup, which is pretty good. My opponent has Therapy for my Force, which is slightly annoying. I take 4. Not really anything interesting. Brainstorm. Into, unfortunately, another Wasteland. So the late double Wasteland was really bad for me here. I'm still okay at this point. And now I'm not drawing a land in my turn, and that means I'm dead. Regardless of what my opponent does, they attack me down to 3 next turn and let the leave the token back to block the Nimble Mongoose to prevent me from killing them, and then they attack for 3 again the next turn. But as it turns out, they have a Lightning Bolt now, and I'm just actually dead on this turn. That's quite unfortunate. And that's another way to win Delver Mirrors. You just randomly double Wasteland them or Wasteland Stifle them, and they lose. Unfortunately, this time around, I was the victim of that kind of game, but I think Canadian Threshold is less likely to lose to random Wastelands than the Grixis deck is. But of course, you can always say, oh, I lost because I got unlucky. I think I played the match quite decently. The Brainstorm, when I just had True Name in hand, was aggressive. It actually turned out well, despite the fact that I didn't draw any other lands any time. That was slightly annoying, but I definitely like my position after the Brainstorm. So yeah, what can you do? This is my second loss, which is very annoying. It means I'm most likely dead for top 8 in the tournament. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you tomorrow for round 5.